Hello everyone, this is Greto and welcome to another devlog of Heroes of Taboo. Now we are on currently version 0.0.7 and we have added like 3 decent sized updates since the last devlog. So for the first one here, we're going to go over that we got our new controls for these updates are now in controls. We now have a story for you guys to read. I believe I actually need to fix this in a later update because I've seen several question marks in this that should not be in there. The next thing we're going to go over is UI. If you've noticed that the UI now has a background, yes, we're going to call it a background. We're using a special type of tech here where we're using a 9 slice, which basically takes the picture, base PNG, and slices it into 9 squares and stretches it accordingly. Some you don't want to stretch, like the corners, because if you stretch those, it'll distort it. So, if you've noticed, we got new monsters. We got skeletons, bats, a skull guy, and a few others that we will meet along the way. And if you're wondering where the others currently are, well, if you look at the UI, you'll notice that there's now a floor counter. We now have floors added, which lets us descend down deeper into the dungeon and, well, complete the game. Gives you a bit more, gameplay and ability to meet new friends, if you want to meet new friends. The goal is still the same. You want to kill everybody. And matter of fact, it'll be a pretty good idea to do so. So what we're going to do is show off the sprint option. If you notice, we can now sprint through these floors, and it stops at entrances so that you don't accidentally go into a room full of monsters and get yourself killed. To sprint, you want to just use your shift and arrow keys. I will show off a little bit of a thing that's been messing with me. If you go to an entrance and you try to shift into it, you need to double press it to do so. I don't know. At the time, I didn't really have an option to fix it because I was just trying to get this implemented and working. Now, another thing that I need to point out in this update, or this happened, I believe, in 6 or 5. But the floor is empty, so the combat log is going to show a yellow text stating that the floor sounds eerily quiet now. This just tells you that the floor is now empty and you're going to want to proceed into the next floor, which is entering the staircase. Now, we have descended to floor 2, and now we're just going to go fight. Now, there is something new on floor 2 and beyond for monsters, and we will show that here in a second. But real quick, if you press I, you now have an inventory, which is just going to be all the potions you picked up, because that's the only items currently in the game. And you get a short description of what the item does and a quantity. You can select it, you can drop all of them, or you can use it. Now, I don't know why you would drop a potion, but that was implemented for you to drop other things too, because soon we're going to be adding equipment and items. Now, let's see if we can find one of the new enemies that appear on floor 2. Matter of fact, there's only one monster who's new on floor 2. But he is going to show off a new attack pattern that we have added in 0.0.7. I'm just going to start saying 0.7 and 0.6 because the first 0 isn't currently needed. Oh, there he is. Now, currently, what he does is he shoots you and he does damage to you. Now, this guy's actually pretty weak. If you're wondering what type of enemy or what level they are or anything, because these monsters, they do level up, and they level up at random, 1 to 3 for every floor. Now, I originally had it to 3 at 6 on 0.5, and that made the game unbeatable. We're not doing that again. But if you want to know, you can actually left click on them and you can get their information up at the top right hand corner. This guy is a Goblin Archer, he's level 3. He has a max health of 9, attack of 4, defense of 1, and how much XP he drops. Now that is a lot of information to get, so later on I'm going to lower how much you can see. It'll be more dependent on maybe either a skill or a like intelligence modifier if we do that. But as you saw, we have a new we actually have 2 new attack types. We're gonna have to go a bit deeper to see the other one. So let's see if we can get there and talk about other updates or plans along the way. So one other thing we can do is if we sit, we heal, and healing now scales according to our level. This is important because if you get too high of a level and you only heal for 1, there's no point in just spamming healing, because we now have a guy who comes when you do, and he's going to be the Shadow. Now, I'm not going to show him off right now. We'll show him off later after we get the second increase in attack, I guess. Attack type, there you go. But you will get a message saying you feel a presence coming to this floor. Now, we will talk more about him later when we actually see him, but I just wanted to show that off too. Now, this is actually the floor we actually would see the new attack type, actually. So, I said actually twice, didn't I? I probably should not have done that. This also shows off the new potions, which, thanks to a Redditor, I actually have a better idea for these potions. But these newer ones, they heal for more. And, there's gonna be a 3rd type later on up. And if you notice, I lost a lot of health from that, and that's thanks to the monsters scaling up. Let's see if we get a... So this is not a new one, but these guys are considered stronger. The eyeballs. We had the eyeballs originally, and we'll actually also see our fungus men on this floor and beyond if we can find them, if they spawned. And the 3rd new spawn that we find on this floor would be these skulls. Here's our fungus guy. There we go. And the floor's not really quiet yet. And this is where an archer becomes a pickle, because now he pokes you while you're being attacked by something with melee. I still haven't seen the skull. I guess ones didn't spawn. Okay. Let's see if we can go find one that spawns. The reason why I'm not showing you guys yet the shadow is because I'm gonna use the shadow to kill myself, basically. So let's see if we can find where I left it. There you are. Let's just spam heal for a second. The whole reason why I implemented that thing. Need to rebalance that. He might kill me. Oh, nope. The attack is a little low. Well, his attack is so low because he is just a beginner. I will be adding more range monsters later on. Oh, here he is. So this is the Warp Skull. And this tells me a bug I just realized, because it looks like I got hit twice just coming up in here. I am sprinting into range attacks. But as you can see, he has a shorter range, but he has a magic attack. And his magic attack does more. Why is there a question mark there? There's another bug I gotta fix. Yeah. That's what DevLogs are for, and testing a game is for. So, I got a couple things I need to fix, such as sprinting into range attacks, and trying to figure out where the question mark for healing big potions is coming from. So, I might just die to this guy. And now now you guys can see why. Yep, that's why range attacks was added to help the monsters a bit more. So we're gonna go ahead and call it that. That's all I have for the devlog.